Hello, everybody, and welcome here today. My name is Heath Hullihen. I am a travel agent with Marvelous Mouse Travels. A few months back, we actually went and took a family trip to Beaches Ocho Rios in Jamaica. And one of the really great things about it, being a family resort, is that they have things to do for the whole family, for kids, including kids camps. But who would be more perfect to talk about kids camps than, well, the kid? So I brought in my daughter, Reagan, who's going to help, and here's 5 questions about what you want to know for your kids for Ocho Rios, Jamaica. So first, Reagan, what kind of things were there for kids to do?
There was a lot of activities. One of them was painting, one of them was making a bracelet, and I wasn't there for all the week to see them, but, I didn't go to some of them, and one of them was tie-dyeing, and, there's a dance class kind of there.
Well, was there a schedule that told you what was going on when, so you'd know when to go?
Yes. And, you had to check in. Well, the parents had to check the kids in, and, as before a certain time, but it's okay if you were a little bit late. And
so you could go in throughout the day, so we could
yes.
drop you off.
There was a lunch break. Sometimes there's a dinner that you go to. There's 4 different restaurants that you could go to, but I think for us it was between 2 of them.
Okay.
And
Right, so they would take you to the restaurants, basically. If it was dinner time, they would take you there at night, and then
for the dinners, too, there's a certain place to meet up, which it was normally at the stage where there was some shows.
Okay.
And there's a question about the shows.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about that here. Now, that was all the stuff that you could do at the kids' camp. So, what were the things that kids could do?
At the kids' camp, there was another thing, too, that you went to the water park that was there. There was only one slot. If you were the 6, you could only do the little slides. If you were 7, 8, it may have been 7 that you had to go to the kids' slides.
So they have different ages for different slides.
Yeah.
And for example, you're 8. So
so there's a slide that went straight down that you were not allowed to go on. So I could only go on the little... You can also go on the little ones whenever you are older, but I only had one slide to go on the big area because one of them were closed. But it was an orange slide, which I'm guessing is probably open now.
Okay, yeah. They had some stuff, definitely closed, but of course it was exactly for renovations.
Yeah, and then there's this other little slide that was getting renovated.
So that talked a lot about the kids' camp, and the kids' camp was really neat. Now, what were the kind of things that, well, as for our second question, what kind of things were there for kids to do with their families that, like you said, there was times that the kids' camp were closed, and obviously you want to spend time all together. What kind of things were there for families to do together?
So, for families, there was snorkeling, and there was scuba classes, which we did not do.
Right.
And there was also a pool.
Yeah, and you mentioned the water park, families to go there also.
Yes. And then the pool has a swim up bar.
Yeah, the pool has a swim up bar. Yes, and
it has slushies. Yeah,
the slushies
and milkshakes.
Yeah.
And
smoothies, that kind of thing.
Smoothies.
And also you can make drinks that are that are adult drinks, but they're for
Yes.
kids. So, like,
Yes.
for example, there's a drink called the Bob Marley,
Mm-hmm.
which is a drink that adults can order, but
there's a kids version, which it's mango and strawberry.
yes. And then, actually, for
The mango is green and yellow, and the strawberry is red.
Yes, instead of mango, they actually add then blue food coloring in some of it
Yes.
to make it the same as the Jamaican flag,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
That turns it green.
exactly. So let's think here. We had the like I said, the water sports, the snorkeling, banana boats.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the banana boat.
For older kids.
Yes.
There's kayaking, because I think if you're
Kayaking, I was allowed to go.
you were allowed
on,
for is that 8? Okay.
but you have to be 12 to go paddleboarding.
That's what I was thinking. So paddleboarding is 12. Okay, perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously
I think I was just making the age for
the other ones,
for
right?
kayaking.
And then there was restaurants that you mentioned
Yes.
the restaurants, you could either do
Yeah.
them, obviously, sometimes
there was
I would say so quick, the French restaurant you wouldn't really like, so we had you do dinner with the kids
Yes.
club that day, but then, because, your mom and I went to there, so if it's something that maybe the kids wouldn't like, but there was also other restaurants, like the Italian restaurant, that we all would enjoy,
Yeah.
so we
That
all
was
went together.
That was my favorite restaurant. And then breakfast wise, there's only two breakfast ones, and the one we went to only one of them, like a bunch. And
Right.
there was a crepe place that had a pool.
Yes, and there was a second pool, like you said,
Yes.
with the crepe place. So now we were talking about the food a couple of times. Then we mentioned it with the kids club taking you places and with families going. How did you like the food?
The food as he said, there was one restaurant I did not like.
That was the
I
French
would
place.
not like.
Yeah, so...
And then, but the Italian place was delicious.
Yes.
And
then there was a place that you talked about for breakfast that rotated.
It had breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah, and
and there was this. If you signed up for this thing, for one of the some nights there was a special dinner.
Yes, we got that actually from having been to a Sandals before.
Yes.
We were actually invited to go to a special dinner. But for the regular nights there, I remember one morning there was one day, there was Mexican, one day there was hamburgers and hot dogs.
Yep.
So we had lunch there a lot.
Yeah.
There was different things for breakfast as far as different choices. You could get
And
French
also,
toast.
if I learned there that buns are not called buns, they're called bread there.
Okay,
So you can say no bread for if you don't want a hot dog bun.
Okay.
Because that's what any bread is called there.
Okay, so all bread. So buns are a kind of bread, but if you
Yes.
said buns, they wouldn't understand that.
Yes.
So you just said no bread.
Yeah.
So there's actually
yeah.
two more places that we could talk
Yes.
about.
There was a place that was down by the beach. We ate it there, and it was really good. I believe I got mac and cheese there
Yeah, so they
from
usually,
the kids menu.
because they have kids menu stuff for most of the places.
Yes,
Um,
and
I think we had fish, fish, and I think Christiana had, my wife, had steak. And then there was also a place that we had for both lunch and dinner that actually transformed their menu at night, but it was a barbecue place where you could get pulled pork, and then there was hamburgers, hot dogs. There was ice cream there you could get for dessert. So really there was a lot of different places, especially with the one restaurant that changed their menu, since one night was Italian, one night was Caribbean, one night was Mexican, that you could actually get a lot of different things.
yeah, and the one that had breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah, that's the place we were talking about. And but you said overall you thought the food was really good.
Yes, for the one that's breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you have a little serving bar there that you could, that you said what you wanted. Like they said, do you want this? Do you want this?
Right.
And
So
you said yes or no.
and you go through, and they would give it to you.
Or
Right.
you would ask for that.
Right. Or even when the French toast and pancakes for the morning, you would go and order a right.
Also, going back to the family thing, we went snorkeling, and the snorkeling guide, we believe that he was a scuba diving guide, and I got something from him.
Okay. Let's see here while Reagan goes and gets what she got. She has got some really cool pictures over time of some underwater stuff. So I definitely would recommend buying an underwater camera.
Yes.
So
he asked me earlier in the day if I like shells, and I said yes, and then...
Go ahead.
And then he gave me this. He went under the water and got this for me. And whenever you first get it, whenever you get out of the boat, you have to keep it like this the entire time. And whenever you get off and whenever you get your towels, you have to keep it covered with your towel.
Okay.
Because it's a very fragile item.
I actually didn't know that. You actually taught me something here. That's great. Yes. So that is very cool there. And like I said, that has to do with things you can do with families also.
For family, you also, for the snorkeling, you cannot, there's these black sea urchins, I think they were called, that you cannot touch at all. Okay. Because if you touch them, they'll sting you. They'll sting you, and you get sent to the hospital. So.
Yeah, definitely don't want to have that.
Yeah, but there is another one that's white that you can hold that I actually held.
So, one of the other unique things that Beaches has is that they have a relationship with Sesame Street. So, what kind of, like were there characters to interact with, or how did that work with that relationship?
So, you got to hug them. None of the characters signed anything, so do not bring...
Like an autograph book or anything.
Yeah, or like something for them to sign, because none of them signed. I'm pretty sure none of them signed.
No, I think you're right.
I didn't see any of them.
Right, so like pictures, hugs. You can actually pay extra for younger kids. If maybe a kid was 3 or 4.
And they loved Sesame Street?
Yeah, you could have a character come in and their friend with them would read a bedtime story, and the character would be there and tuck them into bed. Yes. So like I said, if you had maybe someone a little bit younger, that's something that you could do. They had parades with the characters. We
didn't get to see any of the parades.
No, we missed out on the parades, but we did get to see shows.
Yes, there was a couple of shows. So they met for the time that him and my mom went to the French restaurant. We met up at... I was the only kid there. And we met up at the stage, and there was a show going on. We watched it, and it was kind of funny.
There was another time that you and I watched the show together. I remember that.
Yes.
So they have shows.
Waiting for the person also.
Right. So they have shows. They have meet and greets, like we talked about. They have no autographs.
They just walk around, to be honest.
Yes. So it's not like we went to Disney World before, and if anyone's in the Disney World...
Disney World, they stay in one place, most likely.
You go for the most part, they have meet and greet areas that you go to them. Whereas here...
They just walk around.
No, so that's the big difference there. So we've talked about a lot of things here. We've talked about what you can do at the kids' camp, what you can do with your family, about the food, and about the characters. Now, I want to talk about what are your favorite parts. So let's talk. You want to talk first about the favorite parts about the kid camp, or favorite parts about everything?
Kids camp.
Okay, so what's your favorite parts about kids camp?
So my favorite part about the kids camp, I love tie-dyeing personally. So my favorite part was I also liked making jewelry. So I liked the
jewelry.
Yes, the jewelry making and the tie-dyeing.
One thing that we actually were doing something else that day, so we didn't, but but if you actually were interested in beginning to do scuba, they actually had something where you could learn how to make bubbles and like underwater and that kind of thing. So that was really neat. Now, so the thing about the kids club then, kids camp, like you were saying, was making the jewelry and the tie dyeing and that kind of thing. Now, in general, what was your absolute favorite thing?
My favorite thing was snorkeling.
Okay.
We did. How many days were we there?
We were there for, I believe, 5 nights total. Yes, 5 nights.
5 nights, and 3 of those days in a row we did it.
Yes,
we did snorkeling.
You can snorkel. You can't snorkel your first day, and you can't snorkel your last day. So we would the 5 nights we would be able to do it 4 times if we wanted, and we did it for 3 of them. You're saying, or you and Mom, yeah.
Yeah.
So snorkeling was your favorite.
Yes.
Was it seeing the underwater animals, or what part?
It was really cool seeing the underwater stuff. I've never seen. That was my first time being to an ocean.
Okay.
It might sound a little crazy, but that was the first time of me going to an ocean. And there was we got to learn about a bunch of creatures, and yeah.
So you'd say, when you start learning about, though, so you're saying that it's because we took the vacation during school.
Yes.
Of course, we had some of it had to be learning while you're there. So there was some educational parts too.
And also, if you go during the winter time for here, they don't have snow, but it rains every single day.
Yeah, and we got to see bananas for the first time. Like not bananas like obviously we see them in the store, but like bananas on a tree.
Yes.
Growing, which is so neat.
There was banana and coconut trees.
Yeah, that is so crazy.
And you can schedule for a photographer to come.
Yes.
And see you, and they take pictures of you, and
yes,
here's a picture that we got.
The photo session itself is included. Now, you get to pay extra if you want any of the photos, but we did get this, and that's absolutely one of our favorite pictures, which is why we have it out. It's amazing. The biggest question for you, because we were doing basically 5 questions to ask you, but the we'll call it the 6th question. The biggest question is, would you want to go back and do it again?
Yes, it was really fun. I would definitely do snorkeling again. That's for sure. And the kids' camp. Because they were both really fun.
And I'm excited here because we are going in the future. Because right now there's 3 beaches areas that are in one in Negril, one in Ocho Rios we went to, and one in Turks and Caicos. They actually have a 4th one that they are opening later, but not yet, and as of this video, which is in August of 2022.
Yes. And here soon we are going to be going to Turks and Caicos, so we'll probably be doing another interview.
We'll do another video then to talk about what we like
which
there.
Which is going to be in probably around maybe 3 months, 2 or 3 months.
Yeah, so definitely look forward to that. In the meantime, I want to thank Reagan for helping me out. Thank everyone here for watching. Please, if you see more of this content of things to do, like and subscribe to the channel here for Marvelous Mouse Travels, where you can get a bunch of tips, video, point of view videos.
Videos of hotel rooms, videos of stuff that happens.
Ride, that kind of thing. So we really, we do appreciate you. Any questions, comment, or any experiences you have, comment below. And thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.